Hello everybody, my name is Jordan Stoddard, and this video is about the benefits of playing video games and the various ways that video games are beneficial. Some of the topics that I'm going to include in this presentation. First, I will discuss some of the economic benefits of the video game industry and how they can contribute to economic growth over the past couple years. Then I will discuss the ability to develop cognitive, perception, and reaction skills from playing video games, as well as some of the motivation and some of the mental health benefits. These include helping with depression, schizophrenia, Alzheimer's. Then I will also talk about some of the learning benefits through playing video games at school and at home. And last, I will touch on some of the social benefits from playing multiplayer games. So, to start, some of the economic benefits. The video game industry has contributed a lot to the past 7 years for economic growth. A graph by Statistica.org shows that in 2012, the industry made approximately $70.6 billion through sales of consoles, mobile games, and softwares. And this study also estimates that the gaming industry will reach about $151.9 billion by the end of this year, 2019. For the video game industry, they've created many job opportunities. To start, they've allowed players to make YouTube videos, stream their games, and compete in competitive esports games. With allowing these players to create content for viewers, video games companies have given these creators the ability to make a living off of playing video games. There are many YouTubers nowadays that are living strictly off of making videos and getting revenue off of it. With the esports competitive games, players that win are able to actually win thousands of dollars to tens of thousands of dollars per tournament, as well as if they are on a very good win streak, they can essentially win millions of dollars. The industry also created a ton of jobs, approximately 220,000 jobs, not including YouTubers and streamers, and these jobs' average earnings are about $97,000 a year. These jobs include some developers, software engineers, programmers, designers, you name it. Onto some of the cognitive, perception, and reaction skills, as well as motivation. There have been studies that show the difference between expert gamers and non-gamers. These studies show that expert gamers are able to track objects at faster speeds than the normal non-gamers, as well as these expert gamers having the ability to recognize small and sudden changes with objects that are stored in their short-term memories. Video games also provide motivation to the players with immediate feedback and awards for completing tasks. With this aspect, players don't typically give up when they don't succeed. They go back and try again, using different strategies in order to succeed and move on to the next stage. There was also a study that was conducted in order to see who was able to fly an unmanned drone better, a video game player or an experienced pilot. The study showed that gamers and pilots are equal in regards to being able to pilot a drone. And with it being that video gamers don't have any hands-on experience, it's kind of impressive that they can score at the same amount as an experienced pilot. So, onto a few of the mental health benefits. The typical opposition with mental health being in video games is that violent video games make players, usually kids, more aggressive. This idea has not been proven. There's been little to no studies proving this point, and there has been a study that proves that aggressive video games do not stimulate any mental or any type of brain function or desensitization. And many studies have also shown that these aggressions often have different causes, like for instance being bullied. A study in mental health by the British Medical Journals also showed that some games can be more therapeutic than going to a therapist or speaking to somebody when struggling with depression. Games have been specifically designed to help people that are struggling with this depression. Another study by a London Institute of Psychiatry proved that video games can actually teach people with schizophrenia how to control parts of their brain and make life a little easier to deal with and a little bit more manageable without hearing, as many voices in their heads. Also, a study in the Université de Montréal in Canada has shown that elders that play three-dimensional video games are at less risk to develop Alzheimer's. The study showed that playing on a regular basis can improve cognitive abilities in their minds and increase gray matter called hippocampus. The hippocampus is involved in the formation of new memories, and it's also associated with learning and emotions and tons of different neurological symptoms. So, with that, on to the use of video games in schools. Certain games have characteristics that have been shown to be valuable instructional methods used in schools. These characteristics can include competitions, goals, rules, challenges, choices, etc. Studies from Columbia University have proven that students tend to remember more information while learning when they are entertained, and typically don't even realize that they are learning anything. When in the classroom, students are often bored and easily distracted from the information they are learning or supposed to be learning, but when they're playing video games, they're more entertained and interacting with the things that they are learning rather than looking at it on a whiteboard. Obviously, not all games are appropriate for school settings, but there are options which include math games, history games, wordplay games, strategy games, puzzle games, and anything that could be school related, science games, etc. But with the options that aren't school appropriate, we go on to the games at home. Learning at home through video games can be very informational. For instance, games like Assassin's Creed can give lots of information about historic times with their on-screen guides that inform people about the historic places and the people that are portrayed in the game. These on-screen guides, if you choose to look at them, they have a bunch of information about who the person is, what they did, when they were alive, etc. There are also games like 7 Days to Die, Forest, Rust, Minecraft, and many more that teach about survival. These games offer limited resources and kind of teach how to craft items to survive and how to scavenge if it were to happen in real life, like a zombie apocalypse or anything like that. Some casual games like Portal, Civilization Series, Candy Crush, Tetris, Sims, and many more teach problem solving and strategy skills that can be used in the real world. So, for the communication and social benefits, we'll start with the opposition that I found that in social aspects that girls don't typically play games since they aren't structured towards female players, which is somewhat true. Many girls often do not find games as appealing as men do, and the people that play them are called toxic people, who are aggressive, inappropriate, childish somewhat. So that's why many girls don't try to play video games as often. But almost all games nowadays offer a multiplayer mode, where teammates can communicate with one another to complete objectives, and many can form small bonds between each other if they succeed and work well together during certain tasks, or if they're just having a great time. With this, many people are able to make easy friends, people who can be all the way across the world or just right back in their city. A unique thing with making friends online and on video games is that players already have the same interests and something to talk about. Many people trying to make friends do not often know what to talk about since they do not know each other yet, or they don't know what the other person's interests are. And so with all that, those are a few of the benefits to playing video games. I hope you all enjoyed, and thank you for watching.